It's Ray Give TV.
Ray Give TV.
Let's get right to it.
Fighting for the brother. If me and 1090 was on the same side of this shit, boy, listen, and we was both running it up, it'd be a wall of fire blazing that they couldn't come through. But I'm getting threats, and I'm actually fighting in favor of Larry Hoover. So I know 1090 shit got to be crazy. Attention, no. Squid 8, the Chicago-based media platform, is what made people pay attention, because that's how I think.
Hold on. So, Wack, so for the record, you would not say today that anything that 1090 Jake has said is fake, false, or fraudulent. You would just say you need more information and more work. That's what you would say.
I'm gonna say that the things 1090 Jake reported on, right, are credible documents from the court for him to stand on that, and he's not gonna fight me on that. He's not.
Right, but this is the thing. What I found comes from a time where the only news, blogs, articles was literally the newspaper.
And they had to get it from the police report,
It's not a matter of is it a credible source. It is the only fucking source.
It's not the only source, because the other source is the courts.
Right, but this opens the doors to where, okay, the next move is going to the court.
Yeah, it opens the door to conversation and debate.
And that's all we've had so far is conversation, because what I said in my video is by all street codes. If this is true,
now 1090 is going to believe.
There's not a rapper today that if he told the two people that shot him, he wouldn't be labeled a fucking rat. But the thing is this, Chicago, you have to go to the courthouse in person to request documents. So you're telling me the thousands of GDs in Chicago that literally fucking pray and say this man's name before they go to sleep, none of them want to go to the courthouse and go get this shit?
Oh, shit.
Well, you would think that they would want to go there to get it to clear him. But until they find out that,
Wack, why you think they don't do that then? If 1090 Jake is capping,
1090 knows what I'm doing, but this is why I know what he's doing based upon what I probably had. Like there's a thing out there that I know he has the commission report. I know his shit. I know he probably has. He could take and put with another thing and that, and he could have responded.
Wack,
to me.
You sound different today. It sounds like you almost agree with 1090 that he a rat.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is 1090 did not make this shit up. No, he did not. 1090 is not the origin of this shit. No, he's not. But the documents he's using, right, is not a credible enough document. It's not a legal entity. It's not the court document.
I can agree to an extent, right?
Yeah,
but
that's all I'm saying.
What was your response to the news articles that I brought?
My response to the news article is that it was just that, news articles, and we've been watching those articles back in those times be manipulated.
And who did you interview to, get a new perspective?
You gonna force this dude? I know where you're trying to go tonight.
Who did you interview?
I interviewed the shooter, James.
The shooter.
Smith.
What makes him a credible person?
If you fire a shot, it's gonna take away from your Gatling gun. Don't get
no. I'm asking, if the news isn't credible, what makes him credible?
Well, he's gonna be more credible to this situation now, because he's actually named as the shooter.
Right.
He's named as the shooter. Now, can he be lying? Can he be leaving something out? Can it be some pressure on that side? Yes, and I know why you can say that.
Wait, Wack. How could you say, again, I hear what you're saying, like, we don't have enough stuff, and I think that's very valid. But I've heard you say Big U is working, Brick Baby working, Loose Cannon working.
All paperwork. I have court documents.
Hold on. But shit, we're starting to see some paperwork about Larry Hoover. How come he wasn't working?
We don't have no court documents.
Well, so if there's no court documents, when I say it, There's no court documents.
Wack, you said he was
shooter says
working
it
because he
either.
ain't had a court date. So why can't you say if your name's in the newspaper, you working?
Hold on, Brick Baby. See now, we crossing into other waters, and 1090's gonna understand this. Brick Baby never knew how I knew what I knew. That's why he thought I was working with the police.
You had a nigga fucking his baby moms. I remember that.
Hold on, listen, because he knows what I was saying was true, but he's like, there's no way he can know this unless he told him, but he just forgot his baby mama was a factor. No man wants to believe somebody is dicking down his woman, right? And she gave up the goods. No man wants to believe that, right? So that's how I knew that information. This situation, look, I fought 1090 back with the best thing I had, the actual person in their story. Now, is there room or is there a possibility that a document can surface that discredits that? Yes, it's a possibility because none of us have seen the court document. If the court document comes and says the total opposite and supports the newspaper clipping, then at that point in time, I know what else he's going to add to that. And it's going to be impossible to fight it.
Damn.
At that point,
Ain't no way Larry Hoover a rat. I ain't gonna lie. I'll take a bet with you, Wack. I'll take $1,000 bet that if the work says that he a rat, you're not gonna call him a rat like how you talk about Big Meech. Then you talk about the other niggas. You know why? Because the GDs, they really got through the door and they about to put belt to ass to anybody disrespectful.
That's not a concern of mine. That's not a concern of mine.
So if the work says he's a rat, you're gonna call Larry Hoover a rat.
You want to bet me $100,000 that if the court paperwork come back that he told that I won't say he's a rat? Is that what you bet me?
Nah, not $100,000. I said $1,000.
I don't think you want to take that bet with
no,
me.
I said $1,000. It's $1,000. You know what I mean?
$1,000 ain't worth it because you would give me that right now.
I know. I'm just trying to pay for your black truck around for a day. That's it. I'm $100,000.
Send me $1,000 right now. You're gonna do that. And you ain't gonna even ask you why I need it. So. That's
Wack, Wack, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I'm watching 1090 Jake do a 3-1 comeback. Everybody was violating him. I was watching YouTube videos and channels saying 1090's done. He fucked with the wrong one.
I dropped a nuke on him. But I know what he's up to. I know what he's doing. And look, it's gonna come down to if that fucking document comes back supporting the newspaper article.
It sound like you're trying to soften the blow. That if he come back with the shit, you could be like, all right, I at least knew something was coming. But 1090 is not backing up. I was hoping he was going back and be like, yo, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I'm
gonna be real. I represent the exposers, right? I have other documents that if I was 1090, that I could fight me back with and create a real narrative, right? But so
you got this shit like chess.
Yeah, the fact that he has yet to
everything is chess, bro. But there's a difference between shooting at something and hitting it.
Yeah, See,
we want to head tap shit when it comes to this paperwork.
Yeah, he wants to hit. So the reason
I ain't back off the shit is because I didn't see what Squid 8 or whatever his name is posted and run with that. I went and found the articles myself, so I know for a fact this is real shit that's been documented. Then I ended up getting the mug shots for the shooters, figuring all this shit out.
Hold on.
You know what I mean?
So let's set the barometer right now.
Actually documented.
Let's set the barometer right now because I know how Wack move. So if 1090 Jake get the police report, and in the police report it says, I spoke with Larry Hoover and he said that nigga shot me. Is he a rat?
Yeah, it definitely will be a rat.
Oh shit.
Hands down. Anybody will be a rat. Listen, there's nobody bigger than the program, bro.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you gotta remember, homie, I'm from where I'm from. And where I'm from, we don't.
What happens with that though? The response with that is going to be the police lied. They're going to add something on top of that, right?
No. Wack is saying he's not going to say the police lied.
No, but this is what I'm saying. That's what the people are going to say. If They're saying, oh, I don't want to see no news clip and show me the paperwork. Then you show them the paperwork, they say the paperwork ain't true. Then they're going to ask for a fucking time machine because they want to be there when the shit happened.
Wack, you here?
Yeah, what did you say, bro?
He said
R&B act, you know, I'm in check, bro. So
no, I know. Shout out to the Queen R&B, but basically what 1090 Jake said, he predicts that once he provides more evidence, y'all gonna move the goalposts. Y'all gonna be like, well,
no, I'm gonna be real. Listen,
the police lied.
For the first time, I already know he has something he can respond with, but he's not, because he know how I'm gonna respond to that, right? He's not trying to take a shot. He's looking for the kill shot. If he gets that piece, right, it's nothing nobody's gonna be able to say, because then the piece he has now is only gonna really just put a fucking fork in it. If he gets some documents that supports that newspaper, that court document, and he has what I know he probably has, it ain't nothing nobody can say. People can't look at me like I was wrong, because the fight I'm fighting is saying you can't use a newspaper article to have the same validation as the minute orders or police report from a court doctor. All speculation, but in the fact that he hasn't done it lets me know he's looking for the headshot. He don't want to take a shot. He know I'm good at what I do, like I know he's good at what the fuck he does. If he fires right now, he know how I'm gonna fire back. What I'm gonna do is, you know, the planes send those little things out to, like, okay, let the missile hit one of those. You know, I'm gonna send those out.
Wack, have you talked to Larry Hoover since he's been his sentence got commuted, or not yet?
No, I've never talked to Larry Hoover. I've talked to his son once or twice, and you know, I was in the middle of all that Larry Hoover footage that's never came out.
Maybe hold on. 1090. Are you worried about Jay Prince getting involved? Because Jay Prince was involved when Wack.
Now 1090 might be a little scared of Jay Prince.
Oh shit. Oh no. Okay.
I mean, what is Jay Prince gonna get involved? Is he gonna just go request the paperwork?
Well, Jay Prince got involved when they thought that Wack was the reason why the footage didn't get crossed over, and Wack said it was a business deal. I'm just here to make sure it goes good. But they were trying to blame Wack to say Wack was doing some underhanded tactics to keep the old man, quote unquote, Larry Hoover in jail. So now, if he's like setting up for maybe trying to get a pardon from the state, he just got one from a commutation from the federal government.
Got a nice ass.
They might look at 1090 and be like,
here's the thing about that, right? Because Jay Prince also spoke out when dude that got charged with killing bro from the Migos. He said that the shooter snitched, right? So Jay Prince, I believe, showed the paperwork and was accusing him of snitching. So Jay Prince is against snitching. The thing about this, though, as far as would any of this keep Larry Hoover in prison, this isn't a crime that he committed or is accused of committing. This is a situation where he was.
It would just tarnish. It would tarnish his name and what they say he stood for. That's what it will.
Why? You're older than me. You tell me. Ain't Larry Hoover one of the top 10, top 5 realest niggas who ever lived? That's that like, come on, free Larry.
I can't tell you that. I can't.
What you mean?
Tell you that because when you ask
it's
me
him,
that question,
Tookie Williams, and a couple other niggas, and they're the realest niggas who ever lived.
But see, I don't put those people on in my top 5 realest people that ever lived.
It's him, Tookie Williams, Nipsey Hussle, and
no, see, the top 5 people. If you ask me, the realest people that have ever lived, right? Yeah. If you was to ask me, right? First and foremost, then you know we got to talk about the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, Khalid Muhammad. We got to talk about Martin Luther King, we got to talk about my great grandfather, because without him, I wouldn't be here. And
wait, what the fuck? Hold on, I got a troll chat. I'm sorry.
A gang member to me personally, because that shit helped.
No, hold on, but I'm thinking about gang member wise. Like there was a time you said that you had said that the greatest Crip was Big U. Now I'm thinking about the greatest GD is like
we talking
Larry.
about street dudes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we was comparing Big U and Monster Cody, right? But when you talking about realist,
no, we talking about realist street dudes. Like they held it down, always kept to the code.
Okay,
so we talking about Monster Cody, Big U. We're talking about Larry Hoover, and who else?
No, no. When you talking that type of shit, there's other people that was ahead of Big U when it comes to that. There's the Key to Rocks.
No, but you did say he was the biggest Crip one time, Wack. You did say that, right?
No. I said when it comes to him and Monster Cody.
Oh, okay.
Right,
okay.
the comparison, yeah, because you had one dude that wrote a book and influenced a whole bunch of people, for whatever reason, and then you had another dude who came home, did a lot of time, and was able to do what he did, as we see up until this day. But I would say he definitely had an impact and influence. He's probably had one of the bigger impacts and influence when it comes to the spread of people representing something because of an individual. I will probably place him at number one. Yeah, I can't take that from him.
Hey, listen, 1090 Jake, I think the entire hip hop commentator YouTube community owes you, because they're getting on your ass today. I'm telling you, I seen it. They owe you an apology.
No, he hasn't earned that apology yet.
Nah, he earned it. Wack. If he didn't earn it,
hasn't.
you would have been here violating him. I know you, Wack. You would have violated him.
I shot my shot. See, I can't go at him.
Wack, but you're not if you stood on the shot, you would say, if
it's
you
missing links out there. If this nigga turned into Mission Impossible, right? And that's a great movie. I went and seen it twice. Right? If he turns into Mission Impossible and go find shit, right? Which is findable, paper article, then at that point in time, he's gonna have to whimper down a little bit and say, hey, I just reported based upon what I was reading. And he still ain't gonna be wrong.
Man, very explosive content. What do y'all think about the whole Larry Hoover situation? Let me know in the comments down below. Appreciate the support. Everybody tuning in to the channel. Be sure to like the video. Go ahead and share the video. Be sure to tell a friend and tell a friend. We got content. But until next time, it's your boy Ray giving them gone. God bless. Peace.